minutes early, but a couple minutes early is good, right?
Yeah.
So,
We're good.
all right, Sim. So the tornado,
Yeah. It's crazy.
yeah,
It's common in Texas, tornadoes, and I've seen them, but it's
you're
just
in
the way it
Dallas.
happens. I'm in Dallas, yeah, I'm in Dallas.
Okay, yeah.
So, Houston's got the more hurricane type weather, which you've probably heard of. With
Mhm.
us, tornadoes is quite common, but it's just the way it happened yesterday. It was like literally sunny, 95, and just all of a sudden, it turned into like dark, and like Armageddon was coming, and then all
Oh
of
my
a sudden
gosh.
you hear the pouring rain, which is fine, but then it turned into sirens going off in the cities, and that's what happens when there's tornadoes. So they're telling you to go hunker down, go hide in the bathroom or in the doorway or something. So, uh, and then like 30 minutes later, bam, okay, everything's good, and then like the rain stops and a little sun comes out. It was just a weird moment altogether. I mean, it just when there's a tornado coming, you expect it, and it's on the news, so this one just randomly showed up, and it hit a few parts of the city, and just happened to be in an area where we live. But obviously, no damage, fortunately, but just crazy, man. Just the way it
Dude,
went down.
you guys are safe though. That's good. Oh, hey,
Yeah, yeah,
Noel. Great to see you, Noel. So Sim, did you like I live in Memphis, in
yep,
Tennessee, and we get tornado sirens constantly.
yeah, yeah.
And honestly, man, you you kind of
Did you ignore it?
I'm embarrassed to say it out loud. You kind of ignore them, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's what we did. But it was just the way the weather happened. It just, just going from
It didn't feel right.
complete sunlight and shine into just like dark and gloomy within seconds. It was just a weird setting. I looked like something in a horror film, man. It was that crazy. So you didn't know what to. But yeah, I agree with you. Those things go off. Oh yeah, whatever.
And I know they're for real. It's not like the National Weather Service is like, let's just push the button again, man. This is
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But luckily, no damage. So we lucked out, I guess.
I'm glad you're safe. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
Sim, thanks. Sim Aulakh is our PR expert. Sim is actually going to be doing some PR for me and my group soon. That's the reason I'm having him on here. So here's what I want to talk about. PR is not for everybody, and it's so important to note that. The cool thing about Sim is that Sim completely has his hand in lots of different areas of the marketing world. He does SEO, his firm, they do PR work, they do paid traffic, they do all kind of builds for getting people to your product or service, to your high ticket, whatever, to your low ticket, whatever. That's what he does. So he doesn't have a dog in the hunt on which direction he quote unquote sells, and Sim's totally not here to sell. I trust him. So here's the thing. What's up? That's Christy. That's so great to see you. How you doing? Thanks for hanging out. So here's the thing. When Sim first explained PR to me, um, what Noel says, we can't wear all three hats, right? Noel, that's a really good point. You can't do it all. That's number one. Uh, I can't. My team does not need to learn PR. My team, we choose not to learn paid traffic. We outsource that. We outsource our website builds. We outsource our SEO. Like we're experts at a very few number of things, and we don't want to dive deep in those other areas. So when Sim and I first talked, like he explained to me PR in a way that I'd never heard it explained. Like, hey, dude, if you're like, I think the first thing you told me was, dude, if you just want a bunch of leads, PR is not your thing.
Right.
And that's great. We don't want a bunch of leads. We got a lot of leads. We were looking for a bigger presence and a voice in the market. Anyway, Sim, kind of break this down for us from a PR standpoint. There's so many agency owners and experts in our community. So thanks for hanging out. But
Absolutely.
break down PR. Like, why did you even get interested in PR? Because everybody kind of gravitates towards SEO and ads. Few people really do PR well.
Yeah, absolutely great, Chris, and I appreciate the introduction. So, it's exactly like you said it. Most people don't think they need PR for a variety of reasons. They want to go into something tangible, like going straight into paid ads, seeing leads come in, and being able to service them. But that comes at a very high cost.
Mm.
There's others that just getting into the agency world or just business world, but they have no credibility. Nobody knows who they are. So that's where PR becomes very prominent because it helps put your name and tie your name to the big brands, giving you that brand equity so that when people think of your name, they start tying you to, let's say, Bloomberg, Yahoo Finance, Forbes Entrepreneur, right? These are all the various platforms that you can be featured on, depending on what market niche that you serve, right? So you would obviously want to go into a website that makes sense based on what product you sell or services you sell to your clientele. Like if you're in the beauty niche, you're selling beauty products, you probably, don't want to go to like an all, men's type of publication. That would not make sense, right? So
Mm-hmm.
not all PR is great PR. It needs to be targeted. So just because you're on some random website in some random city, right, that doesn't mean that it's valuable, right? It needs to be
Mm-hmm.
something that resonates with your audience. And if you're a business owner, you know your audience, you know what they're looking for. But this just gives you that extra credibility, that X factor. So if you have like a sales page, for example, you can show, and you've probably seen those as featured on banners. I personally, being in the agency world, always wonder how people get on the news, how people get on these platforms. It just, behooves me to figure this thing out. And I just, through partnerships, I figured it out and realized that, wow, so many people need this, but it needs to go to the right people
Mm-hmm.
that have a strong message to share, right? You can't just be some Joe Schmo or Jane Doe, that just gets PR and all of a sudden people think you're a celebrity. No, you have to have something valuable to give, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just business 101. You need to be able to give value. You need to solve problems.
Yeah.
And if you have a story, then obviously that's something that you should put out there because these days people are online, they're reading more, right? Even with or without COVID, people read, but now with COVID out there, people are home, people are researching, people are doing their due diligence. So the more presence you have out there, the better it is for you. The more you're going to attract into your ecosystem
Mm-hmm.
if you do a properly targeted approach. So, that's kind of a 40,000-foot view on the PR
Yeah.
side of it. But, you know, I,
That,
yeah, go ahead.
that's really good. That's really good. So let me get the progression right here. You should not do PR if you don't know who you're selling to and you don't have your product offering or service really dialed in.
That's
That
correct.
is,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're
What's the
throwing money
point?
in the wind.
Yeah.
By the way, you should
Yeah.
not be doing paid traffic if you don't have your
Hey,
avatar, niche,
yes.
whatever, and your product service dialed in, right?
Exactly. Unless you're just trying to build awareness, you're a startup, and you're just trying to get your name out there. You're not about, monetizing on this just yet, but you just want to build awareness. So you can run
Mm-hmm.
awareness campaigns on Facebook and all those kind of things. And that's great,
Sure.
right? People are starting to know about you, but there's really no monetization strategy yet. It's just getting your name out there. And PR, you can do the same thing, but just realize you're not going to monetize on it. There's not going to be an ROI from it. So as long as you're okay with that, then I tell people up front, like as you said earlier, right? You want leads, don't do PR, right?
Yeah.
It is not what you would stick with your SEO and your pay per click,
Yeah.
and you'll definitely get leads. But this amplifies all that other stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I coach. I say, look, you're already getting good results. Add PR. It's just going to amplify it even more because of that authority and credibility. And a lot of people also run away from PR because they think they have to be this multi-million-dollar business, right? That's the only way they can get featured on a Forbes or an entrepreneur. But journalists are hungry for content. They need content. So if you have just something valuable to share in your specific niche, like tips or tricks or something, right, making you look like an influencer, making you look like the authority, a thought leader, right? They want that stuff, right? And
Mm-hmm.
every person I talk to has something valuable they're doing, right? So it's not just about how much money you make. It's look, you have a strong message. You're doing something amazing, right? With your even if you have 5 clients or 3 clients, but you're doing something amazing for them, right?
Yep.
People want to hear about that, right? That's inspiring. So
It
those are the type
is.
of stories we put out. So that's what I try to work with, and I try to change the thought as I look. You don't need to think you're some celebrity or put some fake stuff out there. Like just be yourself, be real, be authentic. Right? People love that. The more real you are, the more they're going to gravitate to you. The more
Mhm.
fake you are, they're going to run away. Right? So you have to be authentic. That's the key.
I love that. I love the authentic side of that. I really do. So the steps here then, if you're let's just walk through the steps. Everybody listening or rewatching or whatever can identify their place in this process.
Yeah.
Step one is identify who you help and what transformation or service you offer them. Product,
Correct.
service, information, whatever.
Right.
Who wants it? What do you offer them? That's step one. Step two, if that's you, that's step one. If you got questions about that, lean in. We have tons of content in the Facebook group, on the YouTube channel, or you can jump on a call with one of our coaches. Lean in. Step two is really getting your messaging honed in
Yeah.
to the person you want to attract about your product and service, like really dialing that message in and getting the efficiencies around when I make an outreach to this kind of person, it resonates with them because I've practiced this message.
That's right.
If that's where you're at, awesome. If you're struggling with that, lean in. Tons of stuff here for free in the Facebook group, on the YouTube channel. One of our coaches will talk to you, whatever.
Yeah.
Number 3 is once you get those 2 things done, then it's time to replicate that message to that avatar as much as possible.
Right.
Which is where SEO, search engine optimization stuff, or paid ads, sending the message out and paying for it, or getting out there in the community and being seen as an expert in your field in a place where that avatar hangs out and wants to hear what you're talking about. Am I on track? Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Good. So go ahead, Sim. Sorry, cut you off.
No, what I was gonna say when you were talking about step 2 with, get your content in order based on your avatar and get that message out there. And it might be like a blog post. If you run a blog, like literally you can reuse that same content and put it somewhere else. Just rewrite it a little bit, right? Don't duplicate it. But if you already have that kind of information and you're blogging, put that together in an article and just pop it in a publication that makes sense to you. So showing you that, hey, I'm the authority in this space. And that's what we also tell our clients is, look, you're already writing, right, on your own blog, but so is everybody else. Right? Yeah. How do you differentiate yourself? Well, here, put your same article, let's change it up a little bit so there's some uniqueness to it. And now we put it on another platform. Now the eyeballs start coming in. Now when you share through your email audience, your email subscriber base, your Facebook groups, your lives, wherever, now you start seeing more people wanting to go and check it out because they know that brand. They're familiar with it because you did that step 1 research of identifying your avatar and where they hang out. So I just want to jump onto that second point you made, so make sure everyone kind of understands that part of it.
That's really helpful. Thank you. So I'm just going to restating the process as we bring in every new piece of this because it's complicated, because we often get tangled up in SEO, ads, PR, whatever. Do I just get on a bunch of podcasts? Do I do virtual summits? Do I do challenges? Do I just go live every day in my whatever social media channel, whatever?
Yeah.
You got to have a clear definition of who you serve with what transformation product or service. That's step 1. You got to get your message. Step 2 is getting that message honed in over practice and time of selling and reaching out that attracts that person to that product or service. That's the messaging piece. Once you get those 2 things, then you can replicate. Just for everybody watching, I have wasted, Sim, this is embarrassing. I built 5 e-courses trying to show my expertise over 5 years. This is like 8 years ago when I started that process. Okay.
Yeah.
I've only been able to do this successfully for the past several years. Okay. 3 years. The previous 5 years, 1 e-course per year, launched them a total of $100,000 in paid traffic over that 5-year period. We sold 1 e-course for $2,000.
No way.
Because it's horrible because I didn't have my person, my avatar dialed in. I knew what I knew and I knew I was passionate about. I knew I could help people, but I didn't know who that person was and exactly what they wanted to hear. Yeah. That's a big deal, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And I think, the last 3 years, you've, like you said, the success you've attained, I say it's a culmination of what you did starting 8 years ago. So it's all that time you spent putting those courses together, that learning process, right? Not giving up when things were down, right? You stuck with it. You were consistent. You might have, pivoted to something else, but that 8 years goes into this experience, that who you are now, right? Just like I had failures too, right? Everybody does. If you didn't, right, I don't think you're authentic. Nobody gets it day one, right? I've had many years of failures, and I still fail till this day. It's part of life, right?
Mm-hmm. So once we start replicating, we've got our avatar figured out, we got our product, our offering figured out, and they want it. We figured out our messaging, so it's really attractive. Yeah. Now we can replicate through SEO. Or social media channels, or getting on a podcast, or whatever, PR or paid traffic. Okay. Now, can you break down the difference between SEO, paid traffic, and PR? Like, those are 3 very different things. I know that PR can add value to our SEO game. and they kind of swirl together. But which should I do first, second, third?
Good question. So one of the things I'll tell you, if you are a more mature business and you have a list of customers already in place and you've been doing business for several years, you have that list, I would say get into ads because you can utilize that data. And a lot of you, if you've done Facebook ads, you know probably what I'm talking about using the feature called lookalike audiences, right? That is Facebook's way of saying, give us the data. We're going to do this for you, right? We're going to find your target market just by you giving us that information. So that's if you're that mature business, then go into paid ads. You already have a good solid revenue stream. So putting money into ads is not something that's going to kill your pockets, right? So for me, I would say start there and start learning your target market on those platforms because you've got the money to spend, right? So that's where I would say going into paid ads makes the most sense starting. So if you are not as mature, maybe you just starting out, it depends really if you're a local business or if you're selling e-courses, right? If you're a local business, you need to do SEO, right? SEO to me is prime because you need to stand out in your market. Everybody knows bid for those keywords. And now even more recently with SEO, you need to look at something called GMB, which stands for Google My Business. Nowadays, Google is putting a lot of emphasis and money behind that feature. So when you actually type in haircut, Memphis, Tennessee, right? You're going to see a few people bidding using Google AdWords, but then right below that, you're going to see Google My Business listings where you can see information about a business. You'll see the top 3 there. And that's where you want to be if you're local business because they're saying on average 60 to 70% of all traffic is going to Google My Business, and Google wants it that way. And the reason is they want to keep you on their site. They don't want you to go click away. They want to keep you there. So you can even see movie times on Google from local theaters in your area if you type it in, because they want you to just book it right there. You don't even need to go to the Cinemark site or AMC site, right? So that is a huge change that's happened. And, they're always changing their algorithm. So if you're a local business, SEO is a must. I mean, I can't emphasize that more. Once you hone that down and you're getting good results, then you can utilize, any revenue generated from those efforts to paid ads. Ideally, you want to do both, right? But I would not do both unless you're making money on one of them.
Yes.
Right. Otherwise, you're just burning money, right? So a lot of people say, "Oh, I want to be here. I want to be on Twitter. I want to be on YouTube. I want to be everywhere." But start with one, right? Master one. Jack of all trades, master of none. Right? Find one. Hone on it. And get it, because then you can duplicate yourself. Going back to what you were talking about, Chris, earlier, 3 steps. Once you hone out, you figure out steps 1 and 2. Now you just duplicate yourself on the other platform because now you have something that works and it's proven. So, so more mature businesses, I would just jump straight to ad. You've got the money, you can do it, and you can play around with testing different types of audiences, scenarios, and ad copy, all that stuff, right? And if you don't know how to do it, then hire somebody, right? Like if that's not what you enjoy doing, at the end of the day, you should enjoy what you're doing, right? I like, Chris, what you said earlier. You guys outsource all these different things because it's not what you want to do, right? You don't enjoy that, like waking up in the morning, like you just want to go back to sleep thinking about that. So you're obviously, you know what you're good at and you stuck with it. And that's why you have that success. It's because you didn't try to do everything, right? I think somebody who commented earlier in the show saying the same thing. So going back to
Noel, great comment there. Yeah.
It is so true, right? And I learned nothing. I try to do what I'm saying years ago, try to do everything. And it just burnt me out and led to failure. So I learned just like you, Chris, but that took a good time to figure out. But regardless, as far as the differences between the 3, they're all tied together. So when somebody does let's say a PR strategy, whether with us or just in general, we always utilize that when we do any type of SEO or paid ads strategy with them and use that in their copy. Because just think about it yourself. If you're on Facebook, or let's say you're Google, you're in Google. Let's get out of Facebook, and you're typing in. Gosh, I'm just not thinking of some random product right now.
Hats. What are you wearing? You're wearing. Is it a?
There we go. There we go. Hats. Okay, so let's say hats. So then you're going to see some results come up, and then you'll see two companies, right? Let's just say it's paid ads. And the first top one that shows up says, hats as low as, $19.99, whatever, right? That's the headline. But then right below it, you're going to see, hatsforyou.com as featured on, Entrepreneur, The Source, LA Week, right? I'm just random publications who are going to be more prone to click on that as featured one. And that's proven. Right? Because it's perception in people's minds because they know those brands. Oh, wow, they've been featured here. I'll check them out. Even though the one above them is paying more. So that's why we can lower cost, or most people can, right?
Yeah.
So that they tie together, but I always say, going back to the foundation, if you have nothing in place, but you have a good product or service, you know your audience, you've done steps 1 and 2, I would tell you to just put some stuff out there. The more you're out there, the more people can find you. And just like doing podcasts, doing Facebook Lives, right? You may not see that immediate benefit on the live itself, but trust me, it's being circulated, it's being watched. People are finding you, and it's content is king. But it's not just that; it's good content is king. You can't just put random stuff out there. It has to resonate with your audience. So
completely agree. Yes, we say in our firm all the time, and we just live by this rule. We only automate the organic. So once we figure something out organically, like our connection to a market and a product, then we can automate that. But again, $100,000 in automating before I knew the organic, it's failure prone. I'm sorry, guys. You just simply, it's just hard to go hack someone else's marketing plan over a weekend and drop $2,000 off your credit card and Facebook ads and prove your concept. It just, that's a 1 in a million game, and there's some amazing 1 in a million stories out there, but it's just not the way it really works.
Right.
Yeah. You got to go through unfortunately, the painful trial and error of getting to know your market. The part we all hate as entrepreneurs. We have a great idea and we know we're awesome. Oh my gosh, I got to do research. Oh, got to talk to how many people?
That's the beauty of the game, right? That's what drives us, right? Like we're always looking to solve. Right. So if you have that problem solving nature in you, you're going to win. Just don't give up. Right. You're going to hit struggles. And if you know that ahead of time, initially when I started, I didn't know those things. I'm going to have these failures. Right. I had to learn it. And just like you, Chris, probably the same thing. Right. You didn't know what obstacles were ahead of you. Right. When we all start. But you read books and all these things and listen to podcast successful people. They start telling you you're going to have these failures. You don't believe them. And it happens.
That's true. Let's be honest, right? Come on.
Yeah.
Sam, great to see you, Sam. Sam, by the way, is one of the directors here at Elite Agencies. Phenomenal guy. It's so much information. It builds brand awareness faster. Yes, so true, Sam. And you can't throw money at the wall. Yeah, Sam, I picture when you say throw money at the wall, I picture those, remember those like sticky octopuses we got when we were like kids and you like, at the dentist office or something, you get them and you throw them against like the fridge and they like, slowly creep.
Wow, that's a trip down memory lane.
I know it's way back there, but that's way better than money because when you throw money at the wall, it just falls right off. At least the little sticky octopus thing sticks from it.
Right.
Great comment, Sam. Okay, so let's talk directly about PR then and dive deep into that for a second. PR is not the best place to go for just getting immediate leads. Like if you're like, man, I could sure use 10 more leads this month. You don't go trying to be as seen on Yahoo Finance.
Not at all. Absolutely. I would not encourage that. That literally is throwing money at the wall.
But see, that's a perception that a lot of PR companies throw out there though, is that, oh, we're going to put you on Yahoo Finance or Business Insider. And you know how many people are watching Business Insider's website? I mean, there's like 50,000 people a second. Like, well, there's got to be a few of them that are my people, but it doesn't work that way. Why not?
Well, exactly, because they're putting it on the site. That's fine, right? But people have to go and search for your name, right? They don't know who you are. Why would they go and search for your name, right? And how many website visits are you getting a month, right? If you got like 10 visitors a month and you put an ads featured on banner, you're not going to see any traction from that, right? So you need to have some good message, have a good product, have something out there that's worthwhile people's time, right? If they're going to go and actually come to your site or go research you, and it's valuable to them that you've been featured. So it's exactly that. And Chris, you said it, right? A lot of people are selling it as, hey, you're going to be on these platforms. You're going to get 100,000 impressions a month. right? You're going to have people clicking through, and we can track all that. That's fine. But in my experience, and just with true honesty, I know for a fact does not lead to you talking on the phone, talking to leads, just by doing that one thing. It takes an overall strategy to understand. So that's why I throw in those other SEOs and things to tell them, look, this is the roadmap, right? This is going to help you get that verification on Twitter, your verification on Facebook with that blue check mark, that blue Instagram. Now your audience sees that you have the same type of verification that Barack Obama has, or that, whoever, right? Whoever the industry leader is in your realm. Now you're authority, right? So all that PR helps there. But to your point, Chris, that is the wrong way to position PR, and unfortunately, people still do that. But in the agency world, there's other people, Facebook ads, with Google ads, with SEO. We'll rank you in the top spot in the 14 days or less, and I know they can't. Just be real. That's why we were talking earlier, right? Just tell them what you can do. Here's what we offer. Here's what I think you can value from it, right? And then let them make the decision, right? It's on them, right? So that's how it should be, just in the business world in general.
So, Sim, obviously you're an expert at this, and for those of you who are jumping in here a little late, the reason Sim's on here is we're moving forward with doing PR with Sim because he's an expert that I believe we can trust. He's the real deal. We've probably interviewed 6 to 8 PR firms over the past 6 months. We're not in a rush. We're not doing it for leads. We're doing it for the right reasons, and we just want to solidify our expertise in the space we're in. So just background for those watching, because we all learn together here. My expertise is in running digital agencies and building high-ticket coaching programs. Those are the 2 things I'm good at, folks. I am not good. I'm horrible at all the other stuff, but I love systems and I love building teams and I love putting together group coaching programs. I like those things. And so how we are, we kind of naturally want to do more of what we love doing. That's what I love doing. I'm not good at ads, SEO, PO, website builds. And so I built a team around doing what I like to do, not built a team around doing all the peripherals, because you can hire that out. Okay. So that being said, Sim, there's a lot of places to go out there for PR. There's no commission or affiliate fees here, just so everybody knows. I'm not pitching Sim at some, artillery wave. Sim, how does somebody pick a PR firm? Because you might be the right guy for them, you might not be the right guy for them.
Right.
What do we look for?
And so one of the things I would first check is make sure they're featured somewhere too, right? So just like you would look at somebody who's doing Facebook ads, right? Make them show you results, right? So same thing here. If you're looking at a PR firm, I would 100% check if they've been featured anywhere. So if they're trying to feature you, you should ask them, how come you're not featured in these platforms, these national brands, regardless of industry? So that's the first thing I would look at. And then obviously talk to them, make sure that they understand your vision, right? Everybody's vision is different, right? With us, and there's other great PR firms, right? And I know that, and there's one, that have been doing it for many, many years, longer than myself. But what I've learned and what I know is make sure that when you tell them this is my goal for my business, that they put a plan for you, that it's not just about PR, it's about a whole digital strategy. So to me, that's very important, because I know PR is going to help, but it's not going to move the needle on what you're looking for from a goals perspective, from a revenue perspective. There needs to be some other parts in there, and make sure they understand that, right? So if your audience is always on Facebook and they're talking to you about Twitter and stuff like this, they completely missed what you're telling them, right? So that's why have those intro calls with a PR firm initially, and share with them, this is what I want to do. What do you think? And if they just keep pushing it down, right, that you need to do this, run away, right? Honestly, I'm telling you this. Right? So share with them your goals. So that's the first thing. Make sure they understand your vision, and make sure what they tell you, it makes sense, right? And case studies, right? I always ask for case studies. I'm talking to somebody, okay, yeah, you tell me you can do this for me, but have you done this for anybody else? And anybody similar to my market, right? Similar to how you vet any other company. from a lead gen perspective or SEO. You want to see work that they've done, right? So always ask for those. If they're hesitant to share those, they'll say we have NDAs in place and all these kind of things. I've heard it all. Run away. So that's another thing, right? So you know, I think those are the main key points I can think of top of my mind at this very moment. I'm sure there's others, but I think those to me, you know, are really will give you a true identity. And then if they're telling you they're doing Google Ads, see if they're running Google Ads, type their name and see if an ad comes up.
Yeah, for real. For real. Great idea.
So yeah, I think just making sure they understand the full strategy, because it's not just about being on a publication. It's an overall digital transformation, really. Making you the authority. So that's what I would say.
That's really good advice. It really is good advice. Okay, so Sim, I truly know you're busy and respect your time. So I'm not trying to pitch you to just everybody, but are you willing to answer questions to people if they reach out to you? Is there a proper way to do that? Because I know you can't talk to everybody, but how do you?
Yeah, Chris, absolutely. I'd love to just share wisdom, knowledge. If you're already talking to somebody, wonderful. So anyhow, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach me by email. I can share my email if that's best. I can give you.
How about we just you may just link your Facebook profile here in this post, or even can I just drop your website? Do you mean to drop the?
I can do that too. Yeah.
The Platinum Taurus, is that the one? What?
Established cred. So
Established cred. Okay, cool.
I can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Will you drop it in the chat? Yeah. That's great. We need to, man, we got to be on time here. And there's so much more I would like to ask you, but like Sim, thank you. Truly, thank you for spending your morning with us. Like, this is really helpful information. I learned a lot personally, and I'm sure everybody else in our community too.
Yeah, I appreciate being on here, Chris. Thanks for having me. So always ready. I love sharing value just like you, man. So
it's super cool to hang out with like-minded people. That's for sure.
Like-minded people, man. That's all it is. Yeah.
All right, Sim, man, enjoy the rest of your day. Everybody, thanks for hanging out and joining us today. What a great guy Sim is. If you have questions about PR, SEO, ads, Sim's agency does it all. They're super selective about who they take. So they're a really good sounding board, because they're not just trying to sell every lead they get. They're secure, they're solid. They're just trying to do the right thing at this point in the market, which is super cool. So Sim, dude, thanks a million.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Thanks. Bye.